So here I've made a temperature probe that records the temperature over time, and I'll output it in a file, as I'll show you at the end. But I'm currently getting it up to temperature because I'm going to put it into this water so we have a better graph to look at the end. It does graph it after it gets all its values, so see if we can get it up to 100 degrees before we stop it here. Okay, we hit 100. I'll stop the test, start it again, and put it in the water. Move that so you can see a little better. I will also be showing the text file that it creates at the end. It's just a normal data output file that you can graph or manipulate in other ways after if you want to. As you can see, it has the title of Gathering 1 minute of temp data. Time to finish, it counts down. And the temp is currently 22 degrees Celsius, and temp in America is 71.49 degrees Fahrenheit. Looks like the temperature's starting to settle down. "15 seconds left." And if I did not mention it, it will graph it at the end. You just have to give it a little bit. So I'll show that before showing the data file. It gives you a little time to see your values, and here you can see the overall graph steadied off at the end. I will pull up over here. As you can see, temp data run number 1. This is your time, so starting off, we're at 38.5 degrees Celsius. This is all in degrees Celsius. And then, yeah, goes all the way to your ending time at 1 minute. Here, before I start question number 3, I'd like to explain my setup. So on my board here, I still have the same values, but I also have the TTC, the thermal time constant. I will also be recording 3 of these values and getting my 90% confidence interval later. But the setup otherwise, other than that, is just I have a candle behind it, and I will be holding this above the candle after starting it. Here I'll start the first run. So I'll hit start. I'll probably only showing one example since it's taking so long for the test. And that's a pretty boring test to watch. But as you can see, my TTC is climbing. My temperature is also climbing. And my next test, I'll also try to keep the height the same for consistency. Nine more seconds left. It'll also graph the results at the end, So you can see how it changed over time. I'll get you some time to look at it. And there's the results. Here I'll show the last one since the second one went really well. I ended with a value of 43 for my TTC. There you can see the candle. It's not very bright or strong, so it's not super cooking it. Also trying to stay consistent with the amount of room I'm giving it. Just over halfway now. Usually the TTC starts taking off towards the end. Because the temperature starts picking up. Looks like we're going to end around where we're at for the other ones. And you can see the graph. Give it a few seconds. And there's the graph. Lastly, I have my calculations for the 90% confidence interval. I found that it is between 30.774 and 41.886. Here's the bell graph. So 90% of all the values you get from this are supposed to be in between those numbers.